Looks can be deceiving. Sometimes the cutest looking animals can actually be the most dangerous. Today, we're going to be looking at such an animal. It's going to make you say, "Aw," one moment, and then make you run in fear the next. What is this amazingly and extremely dangerous animal? Let's go on a safari to find out. Before we get into the video though, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification bell so you never miss another update from us. The giant otter. Giant otters look like normal otters in videos, but are much bigger and much more dangerous. I've seen a video where a giant otter rolls nonchalantly in the sand between 4 alligators with no care in the world. It's almost like this badass makes all animals in its habitat pay protection money to it, like a real gangster. The giant otter, or as scientists like to call it, Perenniaria brasiliensis, also known as the giant river otter, is a South American carnivore. The word otter comes from the Old English word Otter or Otter. This otter is the longest member of the weasel family, Mustelidae, a globally successful group of predators, as well as the largest, with only the sea otter being heavier, reaching up to 1.7 meters or 5.6 feet, and weighing up to 31 kilograms or 70 pounds. Although generally peaceful, the species is territorial and aggression has been observed between groups. The giant otter is diurnal, being active exclusively during daytime hours. It is the noisiest otter species, and distinct vocalizations have been documented to indicate aggression, alarm, and reassurance. The giant otter habitat ranges across north-central South America, where it mainly lives in and along the Amazon River and the Pantanal regions. So, if you want to avoid it, don't go there. Its numbers have been significantly reduced, and their appearance is now irregular. Decades of poaching for its lush pelt, especially in the 50s and 60s, considerably diminished the population of giant otters. Habitat degradation and loss is also part of the current threat. The species was listed as endangered in 1999, and wild populations estimates are typically below 5,000. The Guianas are one of the last real homes of the species, which has modest numbers and significant protection. It's one of the most endangered animal species in the neotropics. The giant otter is also rare in captivity. In 2003, only 60 animals were being held in zoos. The number is probably higher outside of zoos. The great giant otter shows a variety of adaptations suitable to its lifestyle, including exceptionally dense fur, a rider-like tail, and webbed feet. The species prefer freshwater rivers and streams, which are usually seasonally flooded and may also be found in freshwater lakes and springs. The species constructs extensive campsites close to feeding areas, cleaning large amounts of vegetation. The giant otter's diet mainly consists of a lot of fish, particularly crustaceans, piranhas, and catfish, but can also be found to eat crabs, turtles, snakes, and small caiman if fish are unavailable. It has no natural predators. Giant otters work together like a gang to hunt prey and drive off other predators. They will often snort, snot, and mucus when they get excited or when a predator comes their way. Ew. They can easily be identified by the whole speckled pattern on their throats and their broad paddle-shaped tails. They're also quite big and look like otters. Just thought I would pop that in there. What are giant otters afraid of? Since they pay no taxes, and who would be foolish enough to make them, they are afraid of absolutely nothing. You see, the giant otter is an apex predator that should impart you with everything that you need to know. Apex predators are scary and aggressive, if you didn't know that. You might see an alligator leisurely drifting in a large pool of water. Then one otter will appear and you can almost hear the dramatic music of approaching doom as another and then another appears. The next thing Mr. Alligator knows is that he is now being had for dinner, with him being the main course. Yes, giant otters are not afraid of alligators. In fact, alligators constitute one of their favorite family meals when they are to be had. Quite understandable if you see the teeth of a giant otter close up, as they're huge and have razor-sharp ends. Not something to be messed with for sure. The locals call giant otters water jaguars. Since the jaguar is at the top of the food chain on land, it says a lot about the ferociousness of these quote-unquote cute animals. A jaguar that may approach the river needs to be careful that he does not get cornered by a gang of these animals, because it can end up finding itself dead within minutes. The giant otter kind of reminds me of one of the African honey badgers, a small animal that fears absolutely nothing and punches high above its weight class. The giant otter happens to be a subfamily of this African giant beater. I'm not really surprised. Of course, another family from the Amazon that is really scary is the anaconda. These giant snakes are what nightmares are made of. Hollywood has exploited their fear fearsome size and emotionless black eyes to full effect. So surely the giant otter has sense enough to stay away from them, right? Actually, the anaconda is also on the giant otter's list of favorite meals. The anaconda has the ability to snag and crush a giant otter to death, but that is one of the reasons why giant otters hunt in gangs, families. A family of giant otters represents many sets of combined deadly energetic teeth that are far too much for its prey and to any animal that poses a threat. There are cases of giant otters becoming prey, but on those occasions, the animal was alone somewhere. They're also unbeatable as a team. Their aggressive coercion and perfect cooperation can even teach us humans a thing or two. A giant otter will eat just about anything. Attacks on humans are not that known, but other species of otters have bitten humans and can be aggressive, especially when you enter their territory during mating season. Others have been known to eat giant turtles. The turtle's shells mean nothing to them. They simply flip the turtle on its back and proceed with their meal. They even eat piranhas. There's even a video of normal otters attacking, drowning, and eating a monkey that fell into their pond in the Bronx Zoo. Another monkey is shown trying to help its friend, but to no avail. The same thing happened in the Bristol Zoo when an endangered species of monkey made the same mistake and became otter food. I wonder when Hollywood will catch on and produce a movie about giant otters. They could call it Otters from Hell. On second thought, that's not really scary sounding. The giant otter is far more dangerous by the fact that it has acute hearing, a great sense of smell, sharp eyes, and endurance. Furthermore, it is fast and very maneuverable. I never imagined I would even say the words otter and dangerous in the same sentence. Vocalizations. What makes these animals scarier is the sounds that they make, being the most vocal otter in the world. Watching them excitedly vocalize while taking an alligator down is enough to give one the willies. They completely overwhelm the senses. The giant otter is an especially noisy animal with a complex repertoire of vocalizations. All otters produce vocalizations, but by frequency and volume, the giant otter may be the most vocal. 9 distinct sounds have been identified, with further subdivisions possible. Quick ah barks or explosive snorts can suggest immediate interest and probable danger. A wavering scream may be used in bluff charges against intruders, while a low growl is used for aggressive warning. Hums and coos are more reassuring within the group, while whistles can be used as advance warning of non-hostile intent between groups. Newborn pups squeak to elicit attention, while their young whine and wail when they begin to participate in group activities. An analysis published in 2014 cataloged 22 distinct types of vocalization in adults and 11 in neonates. Furthermore, each family of otters was shown to even have its own unique audio signature. So, if you're willing to hang around and listen, you may be able to determine if you're in danger or not. I would suggest the following approach. When you hear a giant otter, run. Family life. The giant otter is actually a very social animal, which makes them more dangerous, because it is these social family groups that make up the quote-unquote gangs that are so dangerous. These family groups can reach up to 20 individuals. Imagine that many otters trying to corner you at once. These families do absolutely everything together, and as noted, they're aggressive and protect their territory and each other at any cost. It's easy to know that you are not in otter territory because you'll stay alive. Is it just me, or does it feel like the whole Amazon wants to just eat and kill everybody? Anyway, the giant otter hierarchy works as follows. The groups are centered around a dominant breeding pair and show extreme coercion and cooperation. First, there's the alpha female. She's the one who makes hunting decisions and decides who they attack and kill. The alpha male is responsible to mark and defend territory. Although groups of otters can be up to 20 large, the typical group consists of only 3 to 8. Even 3 of these aggressive mammals can be a match for anything in the Amazon. Being social is actually atypical of muscelids, with family groups typically made up of brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, parents, and so forth. Yes, giant otters kind of remind me of a mean street gang that runs in the family, and that is intent on eating you. Once you've seen these teeth in action, you'll never go near them. I wouldn't mess with them. In fact, I'm never going to go near the Amazon ever. These animals are dangerous, but also fascinating to watch and study. Their strength lies in their cooperation, so we as humans may be able to learn a lot from these animals. So, on that aggressive note, that is going to conclude today's video. We hope that you enjoyed it, and again, if you could please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.